You move from the question of whether matter exists to a deeper problem. You now ask what matter is. Russell explains that once you accept that something exists outside your mind, you still need to understand the nature of that thing. He begins with the idea of physical objects. You think you know what they are. You touch them. You see them. You hear them. These experiences feel stable. But Russell reminds you that your senses give you sense data, not the object itself. Sense data are the colors, sounds, and textures your senses receive. The object behind these data is not directly known. You only know the effects it produces in your mind. This creates a gap. You know the appearance, but you do not know the object as it is in itself. Russell then explains that matter is not a single thing. It is a set of physical facts that produce regular patterns in your sense experience. You see color because something affects your sight. You feel hardness because something affects your touch. These signals come from something real, but the signals are not the thing itself. He describes matter as a logical construction. It is a system built from the regular behavior of sense data over time. You recognize an object because the same pattern returns again and again under different conditions. You see a shape, then you feel a surface, then you hear a sound when it is struck. These patterns form your idea of the object. Russell argues that this view is stronger than assuming matter is a hidden substance. He avoids claims that cannot be proven. Instead, he focuses on what can be known through consistent experience. He builds matter from these consistent appearances, supported by the best explanations available. Russell ends by pointing out that this approach does not deny the real world. You have seen how Russell separates sense data from physical objects. Now he pushes the idea further. He asks what matter is when you remove everything given to you by your senses. You start with color. You remove it. Color depends on light and your eyes. It does not belong to the object itself. You move to texture, you remove it. Texture depends on your skin and pressure. It changes with temperature and movement. You move to sound, you remove it. Sound depends on vibration and the way your ears receive it. Step by step, you take away each feature that comes through your senses. Russell wants you to see what remains. He explains that matter cannot be the sum of these appearances. They shift too often. They depend on your body. They depend on your position. What remains is something hidden. You do not observe it directly. You only observe the effects. Russell calls this the physical object. It is the unknown cause behind all your sense data. It is stable even when your perceptions change. This scene shows his goal. He wants you to think of matter as something deeper than color, sound, or texture. It is the source of these things, not the things themselves. You now study how Russell describes the link between sense data and the physical objects behind them. He explains that you never experience matter directly. You experience your own sense data, then you judge that something physical caused them. He highlights a key point. If many people look at the same object, each person reports different sense data. One sees a brighter shade, another sees a darker one. One hears a faint sound, another hears nothing. These differences suggest that the physical object is not identical to the sense data. The sense data change with angle, distance, lighting, and the condition of the observer. Russell argues that matter must be something independent of these changes. It must exist even when nobody is looking at it. It must have qualities that do not depend on your senses. He calls this the physical object, the thing that stands behind all your shifting experiences. This scene shows the turning point. You learn to separate your private perception from the stable world that philosophy tries to understand. You look at the idea of matter through a simple test. You ask what you truly know about an object when you remove the sense data. Russell pushes you to separate the experience from the thing behind the experience. Example 1. Picture a quiet street at noon. You see a parked car, bright red under the sun. You step closer and the color deepens. You walk to the shaded side and the red looks darker. The car has not changed, only your angle and the light changed. This tells you something important. The color you see is sense data. It depends on vision, position, and lighting. The car itself, the matter, sits behind these shifting appearances. Russell uses cases like this to show that matter is not the color, the shape, or the shine. Those are the appearances your senses receive. Matter is the unknown source that causes those appearances. This example helps you see the gap between what you experience and what exists independently of you.